Welcome back to Sahara TV. My name is Rudolf Okonkwo. This is the feedback section. That is when we give you the chance to give us feedback on some of the programs we've been showing you today. I hope you've been enjoying our fantastic show, the lineup we've presented to you so far. You had an interview with the OPC National Coordinator, Agnew Adams, when he talked about his experience at the National Conference, which is going on right now. We also spoke to Attorney Pascal Nkwacha, who talked about his client and the experience the client had with Arik Air in Nigeria. We spoke to a U.S. nurse, Michelle McGovern, who was trying to help children in Ghana and her experience doing that. And many other things we present to you today. Now, when we go to Skype, we want to focus on the National Conference and also the news that will come up tomorrow that Nigeria is now the largest economy in Africa. But before we do that, we are going to talk to one of our regular Skype callers who just returned to Canada from Nigeria. His name is Yemi. Yemi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Rudolf, thank you. Rudolf, thank you.
So tell us, when did you go to Nigeria?
Yeah, I was there from March 15th to March 29th.
29th, okay. Where did you go in Nigeria?
Yeah, I was in Lagos for a while. I went to Abeokuta, I went to Abuja, I was in Okonkwo, I went to Ajah, I went to Ebute Metta, Yanopaja, Egbeda, I went around.
All right, that's good. So now, what's your impression, general impression of things in Nigeria?
Well, in a nutshell, there's pockets of changes here and there, but there's so much yet to be done. And there's huge unemployment, there's huge poverty, and there's so much lack of infrastructure. If you know, I don't know, I asked a lot of people in Nigeria that, do we know the rate at which the population is growing? Do we know the number of people that are dying daily? Do we know the number of unemployed, the income brackets? Nobody knows that. And it's just a very chaotic environment. And like I said, there's very little pocket of changes, and it's only the wealthy areas that you see a big change.
Yeah, can you give us an example of the changes?
I was at the now take for instance Lagos State. You can see all these road constructions, dualization of all these roads, the suspension bridge that links up Ikoyi to Lekki Phase 1. That's to be able to reduce the congestion between Lekki and Law School area. And they did a new bridge that links up the Lagos Business School Road to Falomo. That's another huge development too, in order to ease traffic. And they said Lagos State, this Lagos Power Distribution Company is trying to generate 10,000 megawatts. I don't know how that's going to be done. Going to Yanopaja, the major road leading to Yanopaja was constructed too. There's a bottleneck somewhere. And yeah, then the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, there's huge work going on that express road right now. And in Abeokuta, there's the transformation in Abeokuta is huge. There's multiple flyovers. There's dualization of almost all the interlinking roads between the Abeokuta and its suburb towns. And in Osun is also a awesome transformation. I grew up in Osogbo, so I know how Osogbo was. And going there now, it's just phenomenal. What they've done over there is huge. I was lucky to even meet some administrative, the special advisor on education, on higher education, and on health. They're doing great stuff. Though like I said, they're trying, but there's so much to be done.
Now, what about the economy? How is the economy doing? Because we know that tomorrow Nigeria will officially become the largest economy in Africa. How is the economy for the common people doing based on your experience?
Yeah, I was there for 2 weeks, and I can, as a foreigner, and I know how much I spent in that short time. And what I can say is, y- anybody can come up with the statistics, figures that, oh, the economy is growing and all that. But bottom line, if you go to the grassroots, people are suffering. People are suffering. Look, the day after I landed, that's when the case of this labor immigration interview came up. It's terrible. It's terrible. People that are unemployed, you're getting 1,000 naira from each of them. And look at the states, they were treated, you can't even treat animals like that. So the reality on ground is the masses are suffering. You,
Now,
you, you, you see undergraduates, 10 years, 15 years out of school, they've not worked even once.
I wanted to ask you how much is a bottle of beer, but do you know how much people get paid, regular workers in Nigeria, people you spoke to? How much do they make, those that have a job?
Now, look. At least I know if I was in Nigeria right now, I'll be probably a manager. People in the corporate world are relatively paid well. Yeah, I mean, people in the managerial level, they're paid well. At least I went to a place in Okwebi. I was there around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. They took me to one joint called Captain, and a plate of pepper soup, eja, do you know this fresh pepper soup fish, is 2,500 naira. So, and you can, that's not for somebody, that's not for the poor. People that are highly placed can afford the lifestyle, the expensive lifestyle. A bottle of beer, I don't drink beer, so I don't really know how much, but the malt I took, maybe they bought it for like maybe 500 bucks, you know. So yeah, people that are well placed, they make money. A lot of people make money over there. They get paid very well, and they have side business by the side that is even bringing more money for them.
Now, what about, in general, are people optimistic that things will become better with time, or are they pessimistic? What is your feeling?
People are fed up. That's the general feel. Like people are fed up, but somebody that's fed up and can't do anything. They are fed up, no light, insecurity, no jobs, but there's nothing they can do. They are helpless.
So they are disillusioned.
No, I wouldn't say delusional. They're more like indifferent. People are indifferent. They're like, "Oh, okay, let me just get my own." Everybody's just like, let me get something. If there's any opportunity, what's mine? What's mine? What am I going to gain from it? There's no collective kind of way of resolving things. People are self-centered. I went on I have a business, like I've said it on this program, that I'm trying to push in order to try and make a difference back home. But you see, if I'm talking to somebody enlightened, the person accepts it more. But somebody that's not enlightened is like, what am I going to gain from what is mine? What am I going to make out of from it? So
Exactly. I wanted to ask you, how were people receiving your viewpoint? Because we always have that feeling that people at home, we say that we're living in a different world, and what we're saying has no implication or doesn't apply to where they are. How did people receive your ideas about the situation there? Are you still there? Yemi?
now,
Okay. Okay. Yemi seemed to
hello,
have. Okay.
hello,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Yemi.
hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he works with Cisco. The way I talk to him, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a friend that works with Cisco, and we relate in the same level because he travels a lot. But people that don't travel, that's not enlightened, they'll be like, it's not possible for the way I think for it to be. It's not practical to implement it in Nigeria. That Nigerians are always Nigerians. And I heard the same opinion from three different people from three different backgrounds. They said something that I held on to. They said Nigerians, within the Nigerian society, there are a lot of demons, a lot of devilish incarnate people walking among them, and they are enemy of progress. That, you know, in a situation whereby you have a minister of a parastatal that's sabotaging his own ministry, is that not devilish? They say there's a lot of people in position of leadership that are actually, they are only there in the interest of their cabal alone. So these people, you present something that's so humane, so positive to create an impact in the society, but they'll say no to it. They'll say no, we don't want that, because they are making money from the chaos. So that's why, as long as we have all these devil people walking around and putting on agbada, and everybody is saying yes sir, and giving them national awards, the society will still stay like that.
Now, you mentioned that you went to Abuja. Did you see any disconnect between people in Abuja and people who live in other parts of the country in terms of how they see the situation?
Yeah, I wasn't long for Abuja. Actually, I was there for roughly 2 hours or 3. I just flew in and flew out. And I have a sister there. I visited her. And the only opinion I got from them is the political class. They're designing Abuja to be their paradise. You know, the roads are good, the power supply great, security is everywhere, but they just leave the rest of Nigeria to decay in abject poverty and lack of infrastructure. So yes, the sense I get in Abuja is let the poor get poorer and the so-called rich get richer. There's no sacrifice. Nobody is sacrificing anything.
All right, let's get other people to join us in this conversation. Joining us from Canada, I believe, Odebode. Odebode, welcome to Sahara TV.
Oh, thank you very much, Rudolf.
And from Geneva, we have Hansen. Hansen, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thanks so much, Rudolf.
All right, I understand that Musa has dropped, so if anybody joins us, let me know. Odebode, so you had Yemi and his experience in Nigeria. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think Yemi's experience is still what everybody that travel back home would definitely experience. With most of these developments, you see them in the major towns or headquarters of the local governments. But when you get to your real village, you don't see an iota of development in your villages. But you mainly see this development in the capital cities or the headquarters of each of these local government area. And two, this development is coming, but the Nigerian government need to know that there are a lot of indices that need to be put in place. One of them is our population control. Do we keep our population exploding at the rate we are going? Are we going to keep that? Definitely the government will never be able to meet the needs of the people. There need to be a control in that area. Two, enabling environment, our educational system. What do we mean by education? Is it somebody that graduates from university that's educated, or somebody that have been able to acquire both university or vocational skills? That's why we see our graduates today in US or Canada, they are doing jobs that are not meant for graduates. Back home, we want to go to the university, and at the end of the day, we have army of unemployed graduates. Skills are back home, and we are importing foreigners, even Filipinos, to do professional jobs. So I mean, I think that government to look into why they.
All right, Odebode, hold on, okay? Odebode, hold on. Someone joined us, please. If you are the one, turn down the volume of your Skype, please, so that. Ebi, okay, Ebi, please turn down. We'll come to you. Odebode, go ahead. Round up, please.
Yeah, what I was saying is that where the development of infrastructures, roads, everything continues is a good idea, but there are other indices like our population control, our birth rate. Is it too much? Is it too high? Our geographical and demographical setup. How are the transplants? There are a lot of things that we need to look into. And by the time we start looking into this, a lot of jobs will be created because people will be employed into these sectors. And two, emphasis on university education is killing my country. Everybody wants to go to university, and vocational skills that are supposed to employ majority of people are not being tapped into. Today we find Filipinos, we find even Lebanese or Chinese working, doing vocational jobs in Nigeria. Man, we have a long way to go. These are the balance. Thank you,
All
Rudolf.
right, thank you so much. Hansen, you heard Yemi. What is your impression?
Exactly. It's quite. I could remember some time ago we discussed concerning Nigerian development. Then I told him that anyway that it's true that a kind of some states are doing well. There are some areas that are doing well, but it's true that it's not enough. So I'm happy. I'm impressed what he said. It's obvious that there are a lot of people, poverty, and there are many people are still poor in Nigeria. Majority, not even many people, majority are very, very poor. Okay, but at the same time, too, when you go to Nigeria of today, you will see that one way or the other, the government, they are trying to do something. But to my own understanding, what they're doing is not enough because we have the resources to do better than what they're doing, but they are doing something.
All right, let me come to you, Ebi in River State, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
in Port
In
Harcourt,
Port Harcourt,
yes.
okay. All right. So, did you hear what Yemi, the account he gave of his trip to Nigeria? No?
No, I
Okay.
actually just joined, so I
Okay.
better listen a
All
bit.
right. That's good. Let's start the next topic with you. We have the third week of the national conference. We all watched what happened and read about them in the news. What is your impression on how things are going at the national conference?
Well, the initial bedding down, it happens in even construction projects. Sometimes the first course of block work is put down. It needs some time for people to get into a rhythm. We have a plethora of issues that are not making Nigerians happy or satisfied. And funny enough, some of these disputes are really not related to what is bothering us. But people are getting to hear the sound of their voices. I believe in the next from this week coming, we're going to start talking about many of the issues that actually affect Nigeria today and will affect Nigeria tomorrow. I see the National Conference as an opportunity. It's a one-time 7 billion naira payment to get to the heart of the matter, where 150 billion naira per annum with the National Assembly has not given us answers. So I look at it in that context. The first couple of weeks have been about what you call flurries, like when boxers are boxing, they dance around each other for a while. By about round 2, round 3, you start seeing them hitting hard blows. That's how I look at it. It's all politics, it's all very human. It's actually not entirely unexpected.
Yemi, you've been following the national conference. Were you surprised at the events of this third week?
Yeah, well, having just come back from Nigeria, I asked a lot of people, back home that, look, what do they feel about the national conference? But the truth of the matter is the masses, they don't give a shit. Sorry for using the dirty language. They don't give a shit about what they're doing there. 12 million naira each per delegate just to sit down and probably hotel, and they're even asking for more. Because the last time I heard the chairman, he's saying they'll need more money. Now, I've said it here before, and I'll say it again. This is not the first time we are holding conferences, and we know the result of what will come out of it. So what has been coming in the past would still be the same thing that will come out of it. And now, listen, and there's one thing you have to know. When you see the caliber of people coming together to come and talk, I was in Nigeria, I saw some young youth Nigerians, they were talking, they said, look, they're not even represented. Over 60% of the population of Nigerians are between the age of 15 and 40. But that age bracket is not represented. And it's the same set of people that have been dictating, setting up policies that led us to this point, that are collecting this 12 million naira and they're sleeping. So the truth of the matter is, I don't expect anything coming out of it, and time will tell.
All right.
The timeline for it is short. The timing is not even right. Why are we doing it just 1 year before a general election?
All right, hold on there. Odebode, there was a discussion on the floor about Christianity religion in general in the Constitution. There were the members of the Christian Association who were arguing that Islam and was mentioned in the Constitution several times, but Christianity or the church was never mentioned in the Constitution, and it became an issue. What do you make of that?
I read the article on the Vanguard. I read it and I really started laughing, man, that these people don't know why they are there in Abuja. They made mention that Islam, Sharia, and Muslim is in the Constitution, while Christian, Christ, and church is nowhere to be found in the Constitution. Man, look, we sent you there. You don't, when you are represented, you're a Christian delegate, fine. You have your view about Christian community be bonds, marginalization in some northern states, fine. Those are good points. But don't, when you are bringing your points, bring your point not to cause harm. Just imagine a Muslim delegate. What do you think I will feel there? I will keep quiet. I will be angry too. There's a way you bring your point genuinely, people go after it, but don't make comparison by calling names. It provokes anger. Even if a Muslim wants to say a reason with you, but the way you lay that your complaints, it makes them totally turn against you. We know that the leaders we've had in these countries have been Muslims. A lot of Christians favor them and all. But we brought you here now to make some policy. Don't bring unnecessary comparisons that will cause rivalry, but give us your point directly. That's what I say in it.
All right.
Don't forget, we are making a mistake. We also have the traditional worshippers, because they are not coming out to make their voice heard or what. What about the atheists?
All right, Hansen, I'll ask you, because we spoke to Ganyu Adams, a national coordinator of the OPC, who is a delegate at the conference, and he said that Nigeria is a secular state, that the issue of religion should be removed from the Constitution, both Christian and Islam religion. What is your take on that? Is that important?
Yes, I think I agree with him 100%. Okay, in a country like Nigeria, we don't need to be talking about religion, because one thing that many of Nigerians need to know is that before these Europeans and Arabs, before they bring a religion to Nigeria, we have our own the religion that we practice. Our forefathers, they practiced before them. So in a situation, a country that is very complex like Nigeria, I think the most important thing to do is that anything that has to do with a religion needs to be taken away from the Constitution. And because even when I heard or when I read that in Nigerian Constitution, the name Muslims and whatever is almost 70-something something percent times in the Constitution, why the name Christianity wasn't mentioned, I was shocked. So it's normal that the people that are representing Christianity, they need to say something about it. But for peace, okay, to reign in the country, I think because we've had a serious problem concerning this religion of a thing, I think the best thing to do is to take it away from the Constitution. Let government be government. Okay, the religion, they should do their own thing. They should not mix it together. I think that's the way that Nigeria, a country like Nigeria, is supposed to go. And another thing I would like to add is concerning the people that are representing us in that what they call it, the conference of a thing. To be sincere, I was surprised to see these old men. I'm sorry to use this word, old men sleeping there. So many of them doesn't even know why they're there. Okay, they are paid 12 after everything. They will be given a 12 million naira. They go home for nothing. It's a pity that they use the same people that have been, destroy the country since in Nigerian independence. They are still the same people that they bring together to talk. I said it, and I've said it before, and I will say it again. Nigeria will be good the very day that all these people that they live during the Nigerian independence, all these politicians that play role during the independence and after post Nigerian independence, any day they resign or they retire from politics, that will be the beginning of Nigeria being a working country.
All right, let me come back to you, Ebi. I want to ask you, last weekend, Professor Nwabeze granted an interview to Vanguard newspaper where he questioned if there are any tool or any logistic means by which the decisions of this national conference could become law or could be implemented by the National Assembly. Are you concerned about that, and do you think there is a way to maneuver whatever they come up with to become law?
Well, the thing about, let me start with that. There are ways in law where whatever decisions that are arrived at can be taken to the current lawmaking body and there transmogrified into law. There is a means to do it. It now comes down to whether they will to do it. You see, there's something called the tragedy of low expectations. I hear it a lot from what I'm listening to right now. There's also something called the law of unintended consequences. No matter what people may think was behind the convening of this conference, and no matter how little expectation people may have for what can emerge, the fact is, how do they put it? Jaw is better than war. We have gone very far in the wrong direction in terms of relating with each other in this country. We can either continue to spiral in that way or take a break, turn around and discuss these things. It might be hot, it might be hostile, but it's always better to discuss the issues, even in domestic situations. You can either keep malice with your spouse or significant other for 3, 4, 5 days or a week, or get to the heart of certain issues. And even if at the end of the day, both of you compromise somewhere, you can carry on with the business of maintaining and managing a household. So I don't know why we are so committed. We have talked before. There is a day, how do the Igbos put it? The day a man wakes up in the morning. This country could be about to wake up. There is no harm in trying to participate in that process. Now, Professor Nwabeze, he had a chance to be right up there in the structure of this conference. He turned it down. We understood for health reasons. We respect that. He now nominated somebody else. It was not his place to nominate somebody else. Now the thing is going on. He's coming. I appreciate him contributing. He's a well-respected scholar in constitutional matters. I would like to hear him provide solutions, not always providing problems. Part of the problem we face as Nigerians today is that people always can identify what is wrong. Can you please tell me one thing that is right, or what you individually could do that is right today? If you had a chance, and if you have a chance or a platform, how about you contribute by all means necessary to make sure that your voice is heard? Sitting down, folding your arms and criticizing everything is not a strategy for making progress in Nigeria. Professor Nwabeze, being the highly respected, highly applauded constitutional scholar that he is, should tell me how we can make decisions from the national conference into law. Not tell me that there is no way. If there is no way, then why is he talking?
Well, in his defense, if based on what I read in the interview, he said that he recommended what should be done, but the government did not take it. So right now he doesn't see.
Well, he was asked to be part of it and he didn't take it. So it's 1-1 goalless draw. He should continue talking. I'm sure at some point it will be heard. There was a time they said there should be no conference. Now the government has agreed. Just being a critic at large is not a strategy. I repeat that and I'll say it every day.
All right, let me go to Yemi before we take a break. Yemi, we spoke to Yinka Odumakin, who is also a delegate, last week, and he said something that I wanted to get your view on. He said that the way the country is going, that if we don't have this conference, if we don't restructure the country, that we cannot have a successful election and that we are headed to a serious situation. So you believe that the conference is not of any use. Don't you have any fear that based on the way the country is going now, if we have an election without restructuring the country, that we are taking a risk?
Rudolf, thanks. The truth of the matter is, as complex as Nigerian problem seems to be, it's very easy to solve. So gathering all these people together is a good gesture, trying to make things work. But the thing is, if you see the caliber of people, like I said earlier, we're not going to get anything out of it. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now, AB is talking about solutions. And it's very good that we highlight our problems first. By knowing your problems, you'll be able to find out your solution. And I am very sure everybody here will agree with me that corruption is one of our major problems. Now, I just took 2 notes down. 7 billion naira is spent on this conference, and $20 billion was missing in the NMPC scam. Can't we divert that into something? If we have responsible leadership? They said that 20 billion is enough to pay teachers for 50 years. Now, aside that, can't we just set up something? Because it's really simple. Nigerians they are very law-abiding people. They are very loving people. They are very happy people. You look at the entertainment industry, the comedians, they are awesome. Music. Nigerians are the light of Africa if we have right leadership. So if, for instance, but this is my own solution. I'm just talking about solution here because AB brought about the question of solution. Look, if every Nigerian, every born Nigerian, if there's a social security kind of scheme, that every Nigerian that doesn't have a job would be given a fixed amount that's enough to feed him or her, I'm very sure it's going to go a very long way. That you know that I'm a Nigerian citizen and the federal government of Nigeria is going to be paying me this X amount of money because I don't have a job, and it's going to be enough to feed me. Because when you remove eating from somebody's problem, you have solved a lot.
All right. Yemi, I have to stop you. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about Nigeria as the largest economy in Africa and other good news that are coming out of Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Yemi,
Yeah.
Yemi,